So if you own your own business, or even if you're just like an independent subcontractor and you don't officially have a business, bookkeeping is very important. And I know that a lot of people don't like bookkeeping, in part maybe because they've never been taught how to bookkeep. Some people are just like not into numbers, they have a fear of numbers, whatever it may be. But it is really important to get this done and get it done properly. And if you really hate doing it, you can always outsource it and hire someone else to do it. But I think even if you don't have time to do it and you don't like doing it, it's still really important to have a good understanding of bookkeeping, especially if you own your own business. Because even if you don't do it, it's good to be able to have conversations with your bookkeeper and just have your head wrapped around it so that you can be looking out for, mistakes or ways to claim more things or just get more organized with your books and with your record keeping and things like that. So in today's video, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial of a really basic bookkeeping template that I have. And I'm also going to share that template. So if you want it, you can just find a link to it in the video description below. But I'm just going to quickly go over this template and show you how you can use it if you are starting or operating a business. Okay, so here's a look at the template. I just made this in a Google spreadsheet as opposed to Microsoft Excel. So that is a spreadsheet that can just be opened in your web browser. Now, on this spreadsheet, I have two tabs here. You can see at the bottom, I have revenue and expenses, and I could actually update those to 2025, or you can when you download it. So the first tab is looking at revenue. So that's income coming in for the business from sales. So what I've done here is I've broken it down by month and by quarter. So at the top here, I have the different titles, different items. So client name, invoice number, what service was offered, who paid, when it was completed, when it was paid for, how it was paid, and then I have provincial sales tax and goods and services tax, and then total revenue, and then the source. So you can see here I have January, and then I have February and March, and this box here is the first quarter. So when I start adding in revenue, it automatically calculates here for January, and then here for February, and here for March, and then all three are combined to be quarter one. So if you want to expand this, you can. All you do is left click on one of these and then right click and insert one row above. So now you have 4 options or 4 lines there for January. So I will delete that. And of course, this is not going to be ideal for a business like a restaurant that maybe has 100 transactions per day. This would be more suitable for a small volume business, maybe like a photographer who does wedding photography and you have 2 or 3 weddings per month or something like that. But of course you can expand this even if you have 30 transactions per month, that's still fine. But in a case like that, I would probably want to get bookkeeping software. So just an example here, client name, we'll just do something very generic, John Smith, invoice number 001. What did you provide as a service? We'll say photography, payee. So who actually paid? Well, that was John Smith, he paid. Completion date, we'll say we completed that on the 1st of 2025, January 1st. When did John pay? We'll say he paid a little bit later, under a week later. How did he pay? Let's say paid with Visa. PST, did you collect PST on it? And GST, probably. We'll say the price was $1,000. And then what you can do is GST equals this times decimal 0.5, and PST equals this times decimal 0.6 where I live. So you can break it down like that if you want to, if it makes sense. Kind of depends on your jurisdiction and how you're doing your bookkeeping. And then I like to add this. What was the source of this client? How did John find me? Maybe it was a networking event, or maybe it was from my friend Sarah who connected us, or something like that. I think that's good just to track where that client came from, so you kind of know where your clients are finding you. So you can see that January now there's $1,000, and for Q1 there's $1,000. So as I start to add more here, that'll be $3,000 for January. If I put in $5,000 for February, that will go there, and it's creating a running total for Q1. So you can just do that for every month. And of course you can adjust this to however you want. And now the second tab here, expenses. So that's money you are paying out of your business to operate your business. And for this, you could break it down by month, you could break it down by project, you could break it down by category. For my business, I chose to break it down by category just because I like that better. So I have like cost of goods sold or subcontractors, advertising, meals, insurance, interest, rent, things like that. So I broke this down specifically to kind of line up with a Canadian tax return. On a Canadian tax return, the expenses are generally in this order for business expenses. And this kind of works the same way where, let's go to one example, like let's go to rent, where if you pay office rent down here, category, we'll call it office rent, date. So let's say I pay that for January 1st, 2025. Who is the vendor? That would be whoever owns the office, like just the landlord. You could put in the specific name there. What was the price? Maybe you're paying $700. In Canada, office rent is typically PST exempt, so maybe nothing there. GST equals times 0.5. Total, you can make that sum of all of these. So you have your price plus GST, category, so that could be R for rent as I have at the top. And then I have method there. So how did I pay? I'll say I maybe paid that with my RBC Visa or maybe RBC e-transfer, let's say. One reason I like to put into different categories is if you're paying monthly rent every single month, you can just keep inserting rows here until you have 12. And then at the end of the year, you can just make sure that you had 12 months input there. It just makes it harder to miss out on expenses. And so, yeah, you can see this just kind of adds up where if every month I have 700 and then 700, oops, not 7,000, 700, it's just going to keep adding up. And so again, that would be like 735, 735. So it will add up there. And then at the top of the spreadsheet here on this tab, I have a summary of those ones. So you can see rent has now added up to $2,205. I've got my GST collected. This is from the first tab showing how much I've collected on sales and how much I've paid and how much will be owing. So this is great for those businesses that are collecting GST and then having expenses that include GST, just to show you what the net will be and how much you're going to owe in GST. Another thing I have down here is if you're using a vehicle for business purposes, you could put in your starting kilometers for the year and then the end of the year. So let's say you drove 20,000 kilometers that year. Then the total mileage or kilometers used for the year, and then you can kind of figure out from that what percentage of those were for business, and that will help you determine how much of your vehicle expenses you can claim. Is your vehicle 10% business or 80% business or 50-50? That's a good way to track that. So hopefully the template was useful. If so, please feel free to download it. Again, the link to that is in the video description below. And if you got any value from this video, please click like and feel free to subscribe to my channel and check out all the videos I have on here. They focus on business startup and business management topics.